What's going on, everybody? It's Amster Eggs back with another chapter review, and today we have Haunted Peak Chapter 18. This is thanks to a subscriber who recommended the series. So, I read up on it. It's only 18 chapters, so I actually had a flight the other day, so I was like, let me just read this real quick. And I read it, and I think this will... I'm not going to say I think it's going to get canceled, but I think there's no meat on its bones, and we're 19 chapters in. We're about to be 19 chapters in. I think it's really nothing going on substantial. There hasn't been anything that's been like, ooh, I really want to read the next chapter, right? Like there hasn't been anything. And honestly, the whole premise of it is so far is that it's like an incel manga. And it's even funny because I was like, is this like about being an incel? And then I go to the comments on the latest chapter review and literally everybody's like thinking the same thing. It's like, is this an incel manga? Like, so let's just get into it. I mean, let's just go over the review because if you've never seen a review, because I don't think anybody's really reviewing the series, I will just do a little backstory. So we have Miko, who is supposed to inherit this mountain, and some stranger buys it, and his family sells it for cheap, like $1,200, and it turns out that, this guy who's living up on the mountain, you think at first, and that's the thing, like at first it starts off with him creepy, scary, he could be a murderer or something, because the title of this series is Haunted Peak, so I'm thinking, oh, he's a murderer, and then it turns out that, he was abused by his, he ended up hurting himself because his wife cheated on him because he was infertile, and, he felt, like less of a man, so he took it out on himself. Got a divorce, moved to the mountains, and he's just going to call it a wrap. And Miko, there's definitely something up with him, and, Momoji, the girl in this panel, I'm doing a little bit of 17 and 18, she's just like, Miko is creepy, and this is like a actually typical incel mentality, to be honest. So the panel I have here is she's talking to Roka, and he goes, even though he has feelings for me, he's too proud, he thinks he's above having a crush. So that's why, that's one thing that's true is that incels, they eventually hate women so much that they're like, it's like beneath me to like a woman. And then hence that's why later, Miko says to Roka, you're going to let women walk all over you. And then we see that he's like, women are pathetic. So he's starting to adopt that mentality even, and he's basically saying I reject women as well. So the whole premise is that like Miko rejects women, the guy up on the mountain rejects women now, and now Roka's like, what, I'm starting to reject women. And the whole series is basically how like I think everybody has like family issues. So like the hunter, the granddad's friend who owned the mountain, gave them some goat meat, and the family threw it away immediately. And Miko only eats it because he thinks that's like what a man should do. And that just goes into the whole like incel mentality of like, I'm gonna become a man, and I'm gonna think what a man should do. And the guy's like, yo, we're on the mountain, we don't need that. Like, you don't have to be like a man. So AKA like so. And, you come to see that his parents don't really care about him either. So you got some of that. So you got Miko's family is kind of like a little like, towards him. And that's kind of like, telltale, like a rejection of the family. And we're seeing that as well with Roka. He also is getting rejected by his family in the latest chapter. So then we see that at the end of 17, Mika, I can't remember the girl, but the one girl is like, oh, I kind of like this guy up on the mountain, and I'm going to join you guys. And he's like, I don't want this woman to join us. We're both men, there's a bond between us. Like, I don't want this woman to come between us. And then, even Roka here says, that sounds actually kind of nice. So then we get over to chapter 18. And, here we go. We see the family issues again. Mom staying over at her boyfriend's again. What kind of mom does that? And we see again, there's more. So here we see the familial issues again showing up in this recurring theme. And Roka is like, well, she only does it because, she's back home. And later, we see that slimy, creepy dude that's been flirting with Momoji, basically flirting with all women. And I think the general theme about this is that all the women are kind of down bad and all the men are trashy. So we see this is the ex-wife. So Roka's sister, ex-husband is this slimy dude. Um, and we see that he's still interested in her. Look, you can see by his eyes. How's your sister? No new guy in her life yet? Because he still wants to cheat. Because he has a new wife who's pregnant, and he's like, look at his eyes. He's like, he still wants to get in that. He's still trying to get back with her. And then he's just like, and then look at her face. His wife is such a lousy cook. He probably misses my cooking. So she wants to get back with him. And then he's like, Roka's like, oh, you're pathetic. Like, oh, I'm surrounded by pathetic. And then if you think about the last chapter, he's looking at the mountain. He says, that sounds kind of nice. And it ends with the mountain air was so fresh. So he wants to join the mountain. So we're going to have like this like incel club meet up on the mountain. I just don't really see what are you supposed to root for in this series? Like, what are you supposed to, like, at the end of the day, like, even like a series like Succession, right? HBO TV show where every character is hated and they're all scummy, but the goal was like to take over this family. So you're like hate watching. Like, at least you need something to like hold on to. Like, I don't really have anything to hold on to. I don't really care about these characters. There's nothing really going on for me to be like, oh, at least we're gonna learn this soon. There's nothing. There's not even a direction going. And I can't be a hypocrite and say like, oh, there needs to be a direction. I say that in my other series, but it's like at least there's like a plot point that you know is gonna get to. Like, we thought a haunted peak. Like, what is haunted about this mountain? We said there's a dead body, but like, what, like, are we ever gonna get to this? I don't know. I feel like there's not even been a hint of ghosts or anything besides that first chapter where he's walking with the girl and she's like, I hate when you're up there alone. And so I thought that was a ghost. So I don't really know. I don't really know where the series is going. Because like, even like if you think about slow series, like the new Twilight Blade that just came out, I just reviewed, like, we know that the main character, Haku or Haka, or whatever his name, I'm already going. There's too many series to read. He has like the nine tails in him. So it's like, okay, we know there's something eventually brewing. With this, I don't know what's brewing. Canon Master, we know is got like the nine tails. Everybody has the nine tails in them, and everything's Exorcist manga nowadays. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think below about this Haunted Peak review. What do you guys think about the series? Yeah, I'm sure X out.